Hi all, today we are going to see one topic in medical instrumentation subject, that is source of biomedical signals. Let's start with what is meant by biomedical signals. So as all we know that the signal is something which conveys the information, right? So as same like the biomedical signal is the signals which conveys the information about biological system, that is our human body system. So it conveys the information in terms like what is the status or the working function of the particular organ. So these type of signals here we denoted as biomedical signals. Okay, so let's see what is the source of these biomedical signals. If you take human body, we have a plenty of signals which going to be the source for these biomedical signals. So what are the things which we are going to measure? That is, it's very much important. So for example, we have so many system, right? If you start with muscular system, pulmonary system, cardiovascular system, and many more in if you take human body. So if you want to assess the information or the status or the working function of that particular system, we need to have we need to capture or extract these biomedical signals from the body. By processing these biomedical signals, at last we come to know what is the function or what is the status of that particular system. So this is what this slide represents. So if you take human body, we have so many systems. When we want to look into this system working function, and the thing which we have to process is, that is nothing but biomedical signals. Okay, so here we have a plenty of biomedical signals which is going to be the source of these things which is present in our human body. For example, if you take biological signal, and we have bioacoustic signals and biomechanical signals and biochemical signals, biomagnetic signals and biooptical signals, bioimpedance signals. So these are the few source of biomedical signals which is there in our body. By means of this we will assess respective human body system. Okay, let's see one by one with the example. Now we will start with bioelectrical signals. So as you know, what is meant by electrical signals? So it is nothing but membrane potential which is generated by nerves and muscles. This is the major component which is there in our human body. That is membrane potential. Like for in order to have any communication from one part to another. So everything is happened by means of this. If you say technically, we can also say this membrane potential as a action potential, which is a response generated by in kind of any external stimulus. So the recording of such action potential or the membrane potential is nothing but biological signals. So whenever we have this generation of potential or producing of such a membrane potential, which is represents the activity or working function of that particular area. Yes, so the by measuring these action potential, we have a variety of I mean different types of analyzing method. We can even have a different types of machine device. Based on that, we going to like measuring these membrane potential to assess the functioning of particular organ. One such is the electrocardiogram, and second one is electromyogram signals. As I think you might have familiar these type of words, that is electrocardiogram, electromyogram. These are nothing but is a device which is going to measure the electrical activity of the heart muscles. That is going to be the electrocardiogram. And electromyogram is almost similar, like here we are going to measure the electroactivity of the muscle. So electro is nothing but electrical signal which is generated from the muscle, so it is called electromyogram. Here we are focusing the cardio, that is the heart. So again here also we are recording the electrical activity of the heart muscle, so it is called electrocardiogram. So this is going to be the well-known example for bioelectrical signal. So with the help of this signal, we are going to we're going to analyze the function of the heart, that that is one is ECG and another one is EMG, and many more we have like a EGG, EOG, ERG, and so on. So this is the example for biological signal. Next one is bioacoustic signal. So you know what is meant by acoustic. These are the signal which is produced by the sound. Okay. So for if you take in our body, wherever the sound produced, that type of signal is called bioacoustic signal. Example here we have given the sound from the heart walls. That is when the heart is pumping, it is a synchronized working function of all the walls to be work together so that rhythm will come. Okay, that is contraction relaxation will happen periodically. Okay, so when happen these kind of activity, that is a mechanical movement of opening and closing of the wall, there will be the producing of that sound. So we used to say that sound is called laptop. Okay, so this sound representing what in the sense, it's nothing but a opening and closing of the wall. So when this sound will disappear, means it means that it has some problem in that opening and closing of the wall. As a result, it clearly represent it may have some problem in heart. Okay, so from this information we come to know what is the proper functioning of the heart valves. And also we have other example, that is airflow in the lungs. Okay, so you will get some sound when airflow in the lung. So if there is any obstruction in the trachea or in some other part or to the respiratory tract, the flow will get varies. Okay, if there is any disturbance, or if you have any turbulence flow due to some obstruction of the trachea or some other part or blockage is there, the sound will get vary. So from hearing that sound, we come to know what is the problem which is there in the lung. Okay, that is the respiratory tract part. So these are the two different example here we have quoted for bioacoustic signal. So the bioacoustic is nothing but this the sound signal. So from the sound signal we come to know what is a particular part function, whether it is good or not. Okay, so, second one, if you see, that is a source of biomedical signal, that is a biomechanical signal. So this biomechanical signal is originate from mechanical function of our biological system. So the well-known example is that is a movement, our body movement, that is a gauge. So whenever we are moving, if there is any mechanical function, based on that we will have some displacement or pressure changes, or the flow changes, and so on. So by having this input, if you are assessing some function, means then it is called biomechanical signals. Next one is biochemical signals. So this is very much important when we want to measure some glucose or some creatinine or urine test. So there we are looking into especially these biomedical signals. So say these biochemical signals, which is usually result from chemical changes in the tissue or in the samples or in the liquids, biological liquids. So that chemical variation, that is a concentration of various ions in the particular area, which produce the biochemical signal, that is due to the concentration gradient in the particular sample. Okay, so that concentration gradient, that is concentration of various ions, which gives some signal, that is called biochemical signals. So this type of biochemical signals we highly recommended when we want to do any blood test or urine test and so on. And so based on that we will come to know what is the glucose rate, what is the creatine rate, and what else we can measure. So like what is the lipid, even we can measure the lipid profile, and so on, right? The next one is source of biomedical signal. Next one is biomagnetic signals. So we know that fact whenever there is the electric field, obviously we can have a magnetic field also. I mean magnetic signal also, right? So because our body is fully made up of water molecules, ions, and so on. So as a result, when there is a free movement of ions, especially the negative ions, electrons, this will tend to have some potential, okay, that is called membrane potential. So in other terms we can also say it's electrical signals. So whenever there is a electrical signal, obviously there is a presence of magnetic signals over there. uh, that magnetic signal here, which is in weak in nature compared to the electrical signal, so that the major research side, we are looking into only the electrical signals comparatively, like magnet with the magnetic signal. The reason behind it is that the electrical signals which generate in the body is some point, it is stronger in magnitude, so that it is easy for the researchers to capture or extract that electrical signals from the body to do have a analysis process further. But the thing is here, that is also the magnetic signals, although it is a weakened signals, it also have equally important and also convey some information about the particular organs. So based on that idea, we have the device called MEG, that is the magnetoencephalography. Here also it's almost same like EEG. There you will have electrical activity of the brain. If you say clearly in the sense, that is the electrical activity of the neurons. Here we will record the electrical activity of the neurons. Here also in MEG, here we are focusing the magnetic field, not electric field. Magnetic field, by recording that, we will have what is the proper functioning of the brain. That is the example here, that is MEG. So although it's a weak in magnetic signals, but it is equally important as like EEG. It also have a tendency to convey the information about what we are measuring. So next is bioopticals. The bioopticals is again it's one type of biomedical signals. So this type of signal is generated basically certain type of biological system which have the characteristics of optical function. For example, if you take here, we have given eye or absorption property of blood. If you take the blood, we have RBC and WBC. In that, the RBC cells have a high optical characteristics. That means it will absorb the infrared radiation well compared to the other. So by having these characteristics, we tend to know what is the oxygen saturation, that is what is the SpO2 value. Okay, so since the blood having such properties, biooptical signal is we can measure from that, we come to know what is the SpO2. So this is one example for biooptics. And bioimpedance is again here we are impedance is nothing but is a resistance. Here we are what we are speaking about. So tissue impedance is nothing but again is a skin resistance. So the skin resistance from person to person, it will be vary based on the type and nature of the skin, and also it also vary based on the composition of the particular skin. Or if you want to measure any blood volume, based on the blood volume also, the skin or skin resistance or impedance will also get varied. So by variance of this resistance, we will have some knowledge about what we are measuring. Okay, so example for that bioimpedance is galvanic skin resistance. Here we will have a method to measure the skin resistance. Based on that, we will have a conclusion whether person is like any emotional changes also we can detect with the help of galvanic skin resistance. And also we have a respiratory rate. So the respiratory rate again, due to the expansion and relaxation of the lungs, your body chest pad will get again expand and relax accordingly. So if we have this concept, that is bioimpedance, whenever we have inhalation exhalation, the skin, or what that is the chest part of the skin a chest skin part will vary accordingly. So by measuring that skin impedance over the chest, we will come to know what is the respiratory rate. So this is the example of bioimpedance. Thank you.